Hello, hope everyone is doing well. Today I'll just be going over a quick demo of the Strands Agent TwelveLabs integration. So to give you more context, this is a cross-platform desktop application that will showcase the most recent TwelveLabs integration into the AWS Strands Agent framework, which is an agentic AI builder framework for developers. And so this application will be presented at this year's AWS reInvent conference. And if you want to dive deeper into exactly how this application was built and some of the technical components and design choices of this application, feel free to go ahead and visit this document that I will link below. So in order to get started using this application, you can simply head over to my GitHub repository. Here, you'll see all of the source code used to build this application. But more importantly, you'll also see the latest releases of this application. So if you click on v1.0.0, you'll be able to install either the macOS or the Windows version of this application. Just as a note, at the time of this recording, the macOS application hasn't been fully tested yet, specifically because I am building on a Windows machine. So you can also ignore the source code, as that is just referencing the source code you saw in the GitHub repo. So I'll go ahead and install the Windows latest build.zip and go ahead and extract that on my local computer. Once extracted, you should see something like this, and you have two ways to set up the application. You can either set it up through this installer for all users, or what I like to do is you can just simply go to the unpacked version of the application and run strandsagent.exe. Immediately upon launching the application, you should see some of your Zoom recordings if you have them on your local device. Essentially how this Electron.js application works is that it'll recursively search through common Zoom download paths in order to find your computer's local Zoom recordings. And so this just streamlines the process of actually interacting with the backend Strands agent. So instead of having a website where you have to upload your individual Zoom recordings, it'll automatically search it for you. And so one key thing to note is that you do have to set your own TwelveLabs API key. And if you want to connect your Strands agent to your Slack workspace or your enterprise's Slack, you do have to provide a Slackbot token and Slack app token. And so to give reference, this will directly link to a custom bot that you can create for your Slack workspace. And so once all your API keys are set up, you can go ahead and actually begin indexing your videos. So I'll go ahead and just click on engineering trim.mp4 here. You can see that it begins indexing to TwelveLabs. To show you exactly how this works, if we refresh my indexes here, you can see that the Strands agent properly configures a new index called strands-dev and begins indexing the video. And so once that indexing process is complete, this should only take around 1 to 2 minutes. You'll be able to get access to all the in-depth features that Strands Agent provides. Okay, great. So it looks like our video is now fully indexed into TwelveLabs, and we can go ahead and click into it.
Hi, this is Eric Johnson.
So you can see that your Zoom recording there is playing. And instantly, you already get some very surface level analytics from the TwelveLabs integration into Strands Agent. You can see here that we have things like the summary, a chapter timeline of what's happening. And here is the main chatbot interface where you can directly prompt the Strands Agent backend with these quick actions. You can, of course, type out your own custom prompt as well, but I'll just showcase some of these quick actions. So for example, I can go ahead and ask the Strands agent to extract and summarize the key points and decisions and action items. And so it should go ahead and provide that as well. Okay, cool. And we see that the Strands agent has responded. It says meeting summary, GitLab engineering key review, key discussion points. Goes over that, important decisions made, action items, etc., as well as next steps. And also, you can also interact with different tools connected to Strands Agent. So as I mentioned before, if you do want to interact with Slack, you do have to set up your own Slack bot token and Slack app token, but we can go ahead and showcase how this tool works. So I'll say send a follow-up message to Nathan Chi about who was in the meeting, summarizing the key points and action items. And so just as a note, each of these requests does take around a minute or so. I explain in detail exactly why it does in this technical architecture document, but essentially the agent has to call various tools. So you can see that there's a Slack tool, the TwelveLabs tool, as well as an FFmpeg tool. And it does this all within an agent loop. So it does recurring LLM calls, hence it does take a bit. And says, I'll set up, okay, cool. And it also says, looks like this has finished. And so it says, now open a direct message with this specific user ID. And then it says, perfect, I've sent a follow-up message to Nathan Chi. And so if we head back, we can see that there is a new message at 5:38 p.m., which is right now, discussing what we requested. And so yeah, you can see how powerful this is. You can quickly send out messages to your entire business and specific people with follow-ups directly through this chat interface. But more importantly, you can also directly interface with the bot on your Slack workspace. So for example, I can just go ahead and copy and paste this prompt. And I'll say, in order to activate the Slack bot, you do have to ping it. So I'm saying at TwelveLabs Strands Agent, can you search in the video index for moments where Eric Johnson spoke in the GitLab engineering meeting? And so if you send it, you'll see that the bot instantly reacts with a thinking emoji. And so this is very similar to how this chat interface works, where it's going through the agent loop, deciding which tool calls to use internally before responding. And then from there, it'll go ahead and stream out the responses. So again, this process does take a minute or so. And so we'll go ahead and wait for that. Okay, great. So it looks like it has formulated a message, and the next tool call it's going to use is uploading the video clip next, so we can actually watch it here in Slack. And so you can see here, the bot has automatically added a check mark, as well as generated a LLM response to what it actually did. So not only do you get the results of your prompt in a new message, but you'll also get any errors or any logic that the bot actually performs here in a thread. So you can see here, it's actually uploaded the video as well, and we can go ahead and watch it.
At GitLab.
Great. So those are all of the key features that come with this demo application. So not only can you mass send out direct messages to your team members, and not only can all your team members access this really helpful chatbot to reference old meetings and recordings, but you can also directly interface with this desktop application to really quickly upload your video to the TwelveLabs index and interact with the Strands Agent backend. To give you an idea on exactly how this is deployed on Amazon Bedrock's Agent Core framework. And what's really helpful about this is not only does it come with versioning, but really good observability. So you can see exactly what runtime sessions you have, the error rate that your AI agent encounters, and as well as the detailed vCPU consumption and memory consumption. If you want to look in the logs, it's also connected to external services within the AWS ecosystem, like CloudWatch. Here, you'll be able to see the exact logs that we were just asking within this demo itself. So you can see which exact tool calls it uses and its exact agent loop logic deduction. And so yeah, this is the full application. I really encourage you guys to go ahead and install it on your own local desktop as well. And so yeah, thank you.